Yeah. Yeah, yeah. Hey, going on, guys? Checking right now. Finally. I thought this will work. So hang on. Okay. Yeah, just check. Oh, yes, I'm live right now. Okay, guys. Hey, D, thanks for hopping on. Yeah, finally, I finally make it. I thought Facebook was going to give me some headaches again in going live and share you this content, right? So I don't want to waste more of your time now telling all these things. So today I'm going to answer the biggest questions you need to understand in online marketing world. And regardless whether you're into drop shipping, Shopify, e-commerce, MLM, or whatever business you're into, and that question is, why do I need to create content? Hey, yes, thank you. Yes, give me a yes. Like, how's my audio right now, D? You just give me some is it working fine? Hey, Susan, thanks for hopping on. Okay, yeah, just checking my audio because I think that it's my internet connection. So let's go dive in right now. So question is, why do I need content? Why do we need to create content? And of course, how to never run out of content ideas, right? So keep in mind that in in whatever business, like in whatever business you're in, whether whatever business like SMMA, like the one that I just mentioned, you need to attract customers, right? Cannot hear anything. All right. How is it now? Good, I can hear you. Wait, okay, thanks, D. Thanks, yes. Thank you. Thanks for your feedback so I can see whether it's working fine. So, how is it now? Like, is it working fine? Hi, Susan. Can you still hear me? Okay, so I guess it backs now. All right, I just check here. Yeah, okay, got right. Okay. Hey Melvin, thanks for hopping on, guys. Thanks you hang on with me this. I prepare this content for you so at least you get some value of this. Like, okay, so let's go back. So whenever you do in business, whatever business, you need to attract customers. And we do that by creating valuable content that caters to your perfect customer. You should probably should know who are your perfect customer, right? So think of it, if all with all these distractions around us, Facebook, Instagram, ads here and there, like videos, TikTok, people are bombarded with tons of content every single day. And even if you run ads and put it in front of them, if the content doesn't speak to them, they will just ignore it, right? Now, if you're someone who says something like this, oh, I can't make content, I don't have value, the market is saturated, there's no way my content will stand out, or like, I can't do this. They are all expert and I'm just a beginner. You gotta need to stick with this or watch this replay like 2 to 3 times because this will be going to be the fuel for you when you compete in the marketplace. Right? Hey, RTL, thanks for hopping on. Now, I want you to understand that what I'm sharing to you here is like comes from different courses that I bought from my mentor Zach Crawford, from the books that I read, or as I keep investing and leveraging my skills to help you as part of this family. Like because I believe that you are here building a business not just to make money, right? You are here to build a business, to build a legacy for your children, families, or your loved ones, and build an impact to someone else's lives. Because if it's not, you're probably on the wrong group. Okay, because I understand that this lesson will also help you on how you can position yourself as an expert even before you even become an expert. Yes, you heard me right. You can become an expert even when you're just getting started. So you won't have to let this like self doubts that I'm not an expert to stop you. So you can go out there and give value to the world. You got value in this world, guys. So now, as you can see right here, this is from the movie Catch Me If You Can, and this is the best example for it. This, like what I mentioned, like Russell Brunson mentioned in his book Expert Secrets. So if you haven't read that Russell Brunson Expert Secrets books, I highly suggest you grab a copy of that book. Honestly, that book is more better than any other $1,000 course out there. That book's gonna help you all throughout your entrepreneurship journey. If you can just master just the secret number 8 in the book, your life can change. I've attended different masterclass from multimillionaire and top affiliates, and they are using the same script laid down on the book. This was the time when I was so curious, and I've been attending different masterclass from different people. It's just a free plus shipping book, and it's more than worth it. I tell you guys, right? So I'll just drop a link at the comments below after this presentation. So basically, Catch Me If You Can is a movie like a story. It's a story of a con artist, Frank Abagnale, who basically masqueraded in becoming a doctor, a pilot, a lawyer, and the most interesting part is that the teacher part, where he's what is that there's part of the movie where he teaches a sociology class the whole semester without even knowing about sociology. And when he get caught by the FBI, like they ask him, "How the hell you teach this student sociology for the whole semester?" And he just replied, "Simple. I just have to read one chapter ahead of the students." So it's the same concept, whatever position or situation you are right now. You can become an expert to something, just like how you speak your main language for a foreigner who had never been spoken your language and trying to learn it. You're an expert, right? Now, you might say, what if they more expert than me? Yes, there are many people who know more than you, and it's good to be surrounded by them, but they are not the people you're gonna teach. Obviously, you're gonna look for the people who know less than you. So what I'm going to teach you today is basically answering one of the common questions I heard from different people I connect with. They say, "I can't move forward, bro. I'm running out of ideas. I don't know what to write on my post or what to talk about in my Facebook lives, in my YouTube channel." And today we're going to crush that obstacles. And not just that, you're also going to learn how to unstuck from being overwhelmed. And like, "Oh my God, I'm overwhelmed. I don't know where to do. I don't know where to start," right? You probably have those kind of like thoughts before, right? So you're not going to use this line again if you apply what I'm going to teach you today. And that is to invest, learn, and teach. I learned this concept from Zach, so he learned this concept originally from Ray Hagen. And one of the things that he teaches is that you don't just want to reuse stuffs. Like you also want to give credit to the person you learned from, right? Or give your mentors a credit, or even reference the book that you learned from. You will hear most of the time during my lives, if you watch it or webinar, I keep referencing where do I learn it from, or the book that I read, like the Straight Line Leadership, which I read every single morning. Somehow it comes out naturally to us to reference where we learn it from, right? Now, up to this point, guys, you know the drill. If this makes sense to you, it would really help you if it would really help me if you can smash that heart button. So this video live will also gonna show up to other members' newsfeed, and they will have a chance to watch it as well. So I'll just drink some water here, guys. All right, okay. So now let's dive in. I want to go really quick why you need to create a content regardless of what business model you are in. Is, as I mentioned previously, it's a must for a business owner. You have to create a content. Think of it. Even the people in e-commerce industry who creates personal brand, those who create content will demolish those who are not creating content. Because without the right message or story behind your products, people are not gonna buy it. Give me a yes if this makes sense, guys. If you still my voice are loud and clear, my audio still clear. Because think of it. Why do you think Nike ads focus on athletes, showing them power, perseverance, hard work, persistence, and being a champion, instead of just showing the new features and benefits of their new product, their shoes, right? Because it is the message they convey to customers that what makes them buy. When people buy it, somehow give them the feeling of belonging like their idols. It's the story around that products that what makes people buy, or aka the content. And without content, Doesn't matter it's a physical products, digital products, information products, or services, you need content for people to buy. Because if it's not, thank you, D, for that response. Yeah, I can hear now. Your business will just like demolished in no time by other business owners who create content. Now, here's the thing: 95% of people who are not ready to buy right now. That's why it's very important for you to create a content that will speak to top of their problems and make them realize that your product is the solution. Now, most marketers are targeting the 5% of the markets, which is basically the people who are on the same niche. I explained these details in one of the lessons I share, which, like for example, affiliate marketers are trying to sell to other affiliate marketers as well, right? Which is the 5% of the market. Well, these are the hot buyers, right? I can't say it's not buyers, but I can guarantee you, if you're just starting out, you're going to have an uphill battle trying to convert those customers into buyers because most of them are more expert than you, and they also trying to sell you something, right? So remember what I mentioned on the first part, like find people who know less than you. Definitely you can't sell to expert if you're a beginner, right? Most marketers fighting out that 5%, leaving the 95% on the table. Now what you should focus on is on the 95% of the market, which is people who may have zero knowledge about what you're teaching or a chapter behind you. These are the people you can help. Now here's the big reason for that. Give me a yes if like this makes sense to you, right? Let's say these 95% of people who are not ready to buy suddenly become ready to buy. And that moment you are on the top of the mind of these people. You're giving value, you're building goodwill, you're showing them a real person like you, and you build relationship with them. That moment when they are finally ready to buy something that is closely related to what you're selling, do you think the chance of them to buy from you is much, much higher over from a person they just saw an ad for a few days? They're gonna buy from you. It's because they know, like, and trust you. So your content builds rapport and nurtures relationship from a stranger to a buying customer and to almost like a family member. So, do you want to go against the grain and compete with to the 5% of the market who already know what you're doing, or wanna go to the 95% of the market who are willing to learn, looking for answers, seeking out for help? Now, can you make a sale to the 5% of the market? Definitely yes, right? But I choose my focus to my content on the 95% of the people of the market who are learning mode, who are in the learning mode, right? Now, I want you to understand that people wants the value you give to them, not your pitch. Now, give me a yes if you ever go to some group or you have some kind of friends on social media and what they do every day is to sell stuffs online. Hey guys, are you still with me? Oh, my connections. All right. Hey guys. Oh, I see monitor. I think my connection lost. Hey, are you still with me, guys? Give me just like or whatever you comment if you're still on live. So if my connection is still stable or you still can hear me, let me know, guys. Let me know so I can, because from my phone I can see that I disconnected. Error. Yes. All right. Okay. Go. So let's go and continue. I think it's my phone having problem. Oh, so, okay. So like if you ever experience that, right, like it's kind of annoying, right? If you ever go to some group, like you have friends on social media and what they do every day is to sell stuffs online, post their links and buy this and buy that and all these stuffs, is really annoying. I mean, I've been in different groups who keep on spamming links, keep on spamming the buy this product, PM me, all these things. And it's annoying, right? You don't want to join those groups. If you do this way, you probably won't get too much of what you actually wanted to have. Now, another thing is that Creating a content is like building a digital asset that will give you a passive income in the future. All right? Okay, and here's what I mean by that. If your content caters the 95%, you are building a general content, which means you are catering to the general public. Now, what most marketers do is they create their content exclusively for their products. Like, for example, you're promoting ClickFunnels and you create a content around it. Now, let's say 3 years after ClickFunnels changed direction, they stopped their affiliate program or you don't want to promote it anymore. What happened is that your content will no longer serve you, right? It become useless. However, if you create a content that is evergreen and speak to the general public, you can literally make money from it as in forever. This is the passive income that can get back your time and freedom. Like what one best example is instead of making a tutorial on like how to use an autoresponder or let's say a get response, right? So for those who don't know get response is a software that will allow you to send email to your subscribers or email lists automatically. So instead of creating content about get response, you create a tutorial about email marketing and you give value to the marketplace that speaks to general public. Then from there, you can promote any software you use that you'd like to promote, whether it's ConvertKit, Aweber, MailChimp, or whatever autoresponder it is, right? Hang on, guys. I just need to drink some water. Hey G, thanks for joining. Thanks for tuning in. So, all right, okay. So let's go back in. So even if you like create a content that general content like 6 months ago or 3 years ago or 5 years ago, it doesn't matter because you still can get sales from it. Look at the YouTube videos you've been watching. It has been done like 5 years, like 7 years, 2 years, 7 years, 7 years ago, but it's still on track, right? Give me a yes if this concept makes sense to you guys. Like, this is the long term thinking, which, by the way, is inside the free training that I'm giving you access when you join this group. So, I assume you already watch it and take advantage for the free access given to you. And at the end of the at the end of the training, like they will also he will give you a free access, right? So now I want you to understand that the content that you're building is your digital asset, or Zach called it a digital real estate. And here's what he mean by that. While everyone is investing in physical real estate, sorry, putting all their money playing the long-term game asset, we put our time, money, and effort to digital real estate, which is the content we make. This thing. However, the difference is that content gives you money now, but it also compounds and will give you more money in the future than the physical real estate. Right? Now, I want you to understand that you don't just invest in real estate, Bitcoin, stocks, and any other stuffs because if you don't control the market, unless you have like a cash flow flowing in day out, even when you're sleeping, you don't want to invest in that thing because you can't control it. So even if you have a like a passive income right now, so even if you have like a lose money on those investment, you still have your digital asset, aka your content getting sales and making money for you. So your transition from active income to passive income, and the good thing is like you're in control and you don't have to rely on the economy whether the market crash or whatsoever happens in the economy. And this is the true definition of passive income. It's active at the beginning, but it becomes passive after you created it or in the future. Now, the next thing is amateur focus on making money and the pro focus on building assets. So you want to work as an amateur or you want to work like a pro? To be completely honest with you guys, when I got started, I really focused on getting sales, but my mentor taught me a lesson that really makes sense to me. And that is to focus on building assets. And that means investing in myself so that I can create more and more and more and create great content and tools that will make my life easier in the future. Now, think a bit like, all right, now, okay, think of this, guys. When you do something, you need to do it on purpose, right? This is the same thing. How do we go to creating a content, unlimited ideas? This we're going to talk about right now. This is our main key topic for today. And you are here for a while now, and with the training I'm giving you for free, you already invested and learned something somehow, right? With that being said, you are now part of the 5%. Give me a yes if you still can hear me, guys. I can see from my phone here that seems like my connection lost again. So let's just hang on. Okay, guys. Who can you still hear me, guys? Give me some like, comments, or whatever. If you still live, still on call. All right. Okay, guys. So with that being said, let's say you go into the training. You've been hearing. You check my units. You've been in the course, or you watch some YouTube. You are part of the 5%. You know something like 95% of people don't know. But the real thing is, you need to build your audience and add value to them. And that is where the invest, learn, and teach concept all about. So literally, you will no longer have an excuse and say, I don't know what the content to create. Now, when you teach something, you are perceived as an expert before you really even become one. Remember what we talked about, being just one chapter ahead of the people you are teaching? This is where you implement that lesson. Now, there will be times that people will ask how much money you made or how many people's results that you get. You will also have these type of questions if your content doesn't speak to their problems. Because if your content speak to their problems and you share the solutions to them, they won't ask you about your results. You're going to have to speak with certainty with this topic because it comes from personal experience. When you speak with conviction and certainty, people are naturally gravitate to you. That's why having a vision is very important in this game. And you do that if you have the belief in your mind before it even happened. You got to believe it before you see it. Now, in the event that there are still people who want you to dance with their music and want you to like show off your results, like show me your results first. Don't dance with their music. You don't have to prove your worth to anyone. If they don't relate to the content that you are sharing, it simply means that they are not part of your target customer, or you gotta have to improve the way you convey your message. This invest, learn, teach concept is so powerful that it will allow you to master a topic in a short period of time. When you learn one topic and consume information about like for just even 30 days and you teach it to people, it doesn't matter if they understand or they put it into use. That topic will literally engrave into your mind. Now, this is what most people do. As you can see on the picture here, they consume every idea they saw. They try to learn Facebook, Instagram, LinkedIn, blogging, YouTube, and so many other things. They becoming the jack of all trades and master of none. So it was like your mind is overloaded with different information, and now you start to get confused where to start, right? But if you focus and put that information in the outside world and you teach it to somebody else, regardless whether they put it into use or not, it gets out of your head and you will not overwhelm. All right, so give me a yes if this makes sense to you guys. So I just drink some water here, and if you still live, just hashtag live so I can see whether you can hear it. You can hear my voice clear. Okay, so let's continue. All right, guys. Okay, so lastly, experts publish often. Whether it's a blog post, a YouTube, a podcast, or a Facebook Lives, or like before I forget, guys, if you want these slides so you can model them, just comment slides in the comment, and I will just share these slides like after the presentation. Just comment slides so I can make a PDF copy of this if you want these slides. So, all right. Okay. Now, why people attract to leaders? Simply because they lead the way. Like James Russell Lowell said, that no one can produce great thing who is not thoroughly sincere in dealing with himself. And my analogy for this is that you can't lead people to do the things that you yourself are not doing. How are you going to do that? You can't, right? You gotta lead and become an example. If it's require you to sacrifice yourself for them to be able to see what they can do or what they perceive they cannot do, it's how you empower people. All right. Give me a yes if this makes sense to you guys. So I just have some burp here. Okay. Leaders take action and they immerse themselves in learning by experience. They share ideas, lessons, and the mistakes they had so that people will no longer have to commit the same mistakes. You gotta be willing to do that if you want to build a legacy, not just money making business. Because business is built with people. So your focus should be on your people or your audience, not on your products. Now, some of you might say, I can't lead, I'm not an expert. Well, think of it. If you want to build a legacy or a business that will create a generational wealth and will give you a financial freedom, you got to lead. And you start it in yourself, right? You don't need to tell people that you're a leader if you're an expert or you're like yeah, an expert, right? You let them formulate in their mind that they believe. Give them the freedom to follow you and decide whether they will buy in your vision. So this is what most people do in social media. They like posting all this self-serving picture, how their life is so great, living in mansion, having that laptop lifestyle. They have this picture with the Lambo wearing suits. These are the people's desired type of living. And they do that for a reason. It increases their perceived value and it attracts people who mostly desire all these things. And and to be honest, guys, mostly those people who are attracted to those are the people who are trapped in bright and shiny object syndrome. Keep in mind, if you create those type of content, you will attract customers who only focus on the gold and neglect the work need to be done in order to get that. Give me a yes if that makes sense to you guys. All right, just checking here. So if like my live is still high, can you still hear me, guys? All right. So just like comment or anything so I can continue if like so at least maybe I can hear or like just any comment, guys. Yes. All right. Thank you, Dira. Okay. Okay, so let's continue. Right, there's a time for that type of content as part of marketing. Keep in mind, guys. But like I can tell you, if you can just sit down the whole day in your laptop and create a content that speaks to your customers' problems, and you give them solutions, you will win in the game. Now, if you combine that pictures, that desires with content that speaks to the people's problems, that's where you dominate. Most people say to fake it until you make it. That's wrong. Face it until you make it. I'll just give you the answer. You don't need to fake it. Be authentic. Be authentic, and you don't have a competition to anyone. I learned this from Tuan Nguyen. He don't know me personally, but I watched one of his lives. Right? So think it, guys. Don't fake it. Don't buy into that kind of like people saying like fake it until you make it. Don't buy into that. So now here's how to stop being overwhelmed. Understand that being overwhelmed is an emotional state, and just like any emotional state, you also can change it. Think of it. You don't go to a library and say, oh my god, OMG, I'm overwhelmed, I'm so stressful, there's so many books. No, you don't. What you do is you go to one of the shelves, choose a book, you study it, and then you go get another book, right? This is what you should be doing. You study one topic, implement it, and then go for the next step. Give me a yes if this makes sense up to this point for you guys, so you will stop overwhelmed. For you to be able to reach someone, you gotta pay attention to the topic you are studying. You can't be like studying and then you're like scrolling your newsfeed or doing something else at the same time. Sorry, you got to focus. What I normally do, what I normally do is like I create my content. It's like I literally write it down side by side and think, how can I explain this thing so that people can understand easily and put it into use? You gotta imitate for you to innovate and put it in your own personality in the content that you're doing. Remember, authenticity has no competition, right? So now I want to emphasize here, you don't copy and rehash other people's stuffs. You model it and put your own personal touch on it. Just like what I'm teaching you in here. All this concept doesn't come from one mind, doesn't come from my own mind. I literally learned this from my mentor Zach, which he learned from different mentors as well. Now, for some of you might say, like, sorry for that. I heard this stuff from this and that, like, this is like similar to this, like similar, but it's not the same. Think of it, guys. Do you think all the content out there are original? Do you still believe that? Give me a yes if you think that everything you see on the social media, every content you read, post are original. How is it, guys? Do you think it's original? Give me let me know. Let me know at the comments so at least I also can see whether you still can hear me or hey, Tegun, thanks for hopping on. Yes, you still can hear me basically, so it's good, good. All right. So, okay, remember that authenticity has he's correct. No, always wins. You cannot just fake it, right? So, even Russell Brunson learned the concept that he teaches now from the great people like Gary Halbert, Dan Kennedy, Jay Abraham, and all these people also learn from someone. No, yes, absolutely did. No, everyone can copy each other. We have all this unique. The way I talk, you can't copy the way I talk. Maybe you can copy and model the content, but it's me, it's my personality, and that's true. You can't copy someone. You can just model it. And to show some respect, you put your own personality. Remember this concept, guys. Invest, learn, and teach. Now, you will get overwhelmed if you're not implementing the lesson you learn. If what you do is to consume a lot of information and never put it into use, that is where you get overwhelmed. Loud and clear, bro. That's what I also learned from. Yes, we follow the same mentor, bro. If you don't know, yes, basically it's the same like we follow the same leader, right? So now from now on, every time you consume information, you gotta take two notes. Two notes. One is for you to implement, and the other one is for you to teach your audience. Now here's the thing. Once you teach something you learn, what you do is you get it out on your head. Think of it, guys. Have you ever had this experience that you learn something new and you share it to someone else? And then years by, you still can remember that lesson and the person you teach it to. Because compared to something you learn and you keep it to yourself, right? What software are you using? No, it's just Facebook Lives, bro. You can, yeah, it's just normal Facebook Live. I just have some issue. Maybe it's because of the world is online. Everybody in the world is online, so maybe it's my connection. Okay, right? So you need to like you try to compare it. Like you never teach the lessons you learn to someone else, and you keep it to yourself. Try to have those thoughts. It's because like we as human, Most of the time, we remember human interaction rather than some kind of like some abstract and complex ideas. We remember the scenes, the feelings we had, and the stories associated with that encounter. From there, we remember the lesson. That's how you learn from without being overwhelmed. Give me a yes if you ever been in this situation where you consume a lot of information and you feel overwhelmed. Like you don't know what to do and where to start. I know your answer is going to be yes, guys, because I encounter it myself. And I can guarantee that most beginner encounter this bright and shiny object syndrome when they get started. It's kind of like a normal, and the faster you get out of that stage, the faster your life will get results. So once you learn to focus on your own lane and consume on purpose, you will have to move with a greater velocity. The moment I get to that point, everything starts to fall into place. I don't care how much other people make. I'm not interested in how fast they get the results or whatever strategy they are doing. It doesn't matter. I know I'm going to get there in a matter of time. I focus on my own lane and the people I serve, and when I do that, I don't. And when you apply this process, there's no way for you to literally run out of ideas. You gotta consume with purpose, not just for the sake of consuming information. That's one of the difference of people who are successful and are going to be successful over the people who are not. We do everything on purpose. Now, for some reasons, you might say, "Hey, Ariel, I don't want to hear people calling me out that I shared the lessons from them." Well, you don't. If you do this way, like for example, you learn something new. Hey guys, I was watching this guy and he mentioned about this idea. I think this is really a cool idea. So what do you think, guys? Look, guys, I mean, that person won't get mad at you because you give credit to them. You acknowledge that you learn it from them. Think of this, guys. If people stop sharing and innovating all this concept because they feel it's not right to share those, how do you think this business will go far? Comment. Screen share software. No, I don't use, brother. So just I just use normal live. Absolutely, brother. I can feel you. When I think every people who get started have this issue. Now, give me a yes. What do you think, guys? How far? How do you think this business will go far if people don't share what they learn? How far? I mean, this business will go down, right? What do you think will happen in the future generations if people stop sharing what they know or what they learn, right? Give me a yes if you feel that this business will fall down everything. Like no one's going to grow if they don't share, right? Don't get me wrong, right? Copying is different from modeling. You don't want to copy other people's work word for word. People will call you out because you're using their hard work for your personal gains. But if you model it and give them credit, they will like it. Because one, you show respect, and two, you put eyeballs to them. Who knows that the person you have shared the same have like the same lesson, never heard of him, or then suddenly he became part of his radar, right? Now I remember this encounter I had with my colleague. Like give me a yes, like if you can relate with this. Like Tony Robbins is a famous guy, right? He got million followers. If you ever run a Facebook ads, you will realize that he is part of demographics. When you set your target and search for interest, you can look for his name down there. How cool was that? He was popular, he was famous. But when I share some of his ideas to my colleague and mention his name, who's Tony Robbins? Funny, right? We have this own backstory. If a guy is so popular like Tony Robbins or Russell Brunson, they are popular and you are not. I mean, we think that everyone knows them. Like when you talk to them, like, "Hey, I know this guy. Who's that?" Right? We feel that we know, we like people knows what we knows. We live in this box, and we keep living in this low-minded thinking that we feel that we're never going to be successful because they are popular and we are not. We are just here. We are just simple people. Nobody knows us. I want you to understand everyone has a place in this world. Don't let your self-doubt lose yours. Understand, guys, that people buy to those they know, like, and trust. So whether you are famous, whether you are not, if they know you, they like you, and they trust you, they will buy from you. Some people are going to like going to like this, the way I talk, my horrible grammar, my English, my doing Facebook live, shouting, bubbling, sharing some personal experience like lessons. Some simply don't, and they will leave. It's just human nature. Use that to improve yourself and become a better version. Is literally a good feedback to you, by the way, right? You gotta be okay with it. Now, if you're a type of people who are extrovert, it's cool, and you can become more of it. But if you're introvert, I want you to know that there's so much for you in this world. Mostly highly successful entrepreneurs are introvert, like Mark Zuckerberg, like Bill Gates, Elon Musk. They are introverts. That's why they become entrepreneurs. Think of it, guys. Like, do you know these highly successful people? They are introverts. I just read some comment from Segun. Thanks for. If people don't share what they learn, it will cause info overload and inability to take action. Remember, we get better when we teach what we know. The more output, the better. Absolutely, Segun Raz. You're right, man. You need to teach, and you double the impact. You engrave it to your mind. Like, think of it, guys. These people, these are introverts. Mark Zuckerberg, Bill Gates, Elon Musk. They are highly successful entrepreneurs. They are introverts and become entrepreneurs because they don't perform at the crowd. They are the best version of themselves when they're alone. Now, most people think that if they are introvert, they will just flock with introvert people to be successful. You can partner up or you can have both persona. Steve Jobs is an extrovert, but Steve Wozniak, the person who have invented the first Apple, is an introvert, and he became an expert because he stayed at home while growing up. He is an introvert. How cool was that, right? So I want you to understand, guys, that whoever you are, wherever you are, whatever you have a place in this world to become great, right? So now let's go to the two types of content you will produce to your audience and apply this 80% and 80-20 rule, right? 80% of your content should attract your audience and gives value to their lives, whether in your Facebook post, your blog post, video, live streams, or podcast. Pick one and master it. Focus and dominate that platform. Now, your content should give your audience a mind shift or somehow solve their problems. And you do that by stories. Give me a yes if this makes sense to you guys. I mean, I'm running out of my water here. I just drink so while looking at your comments. All right. Let me ask you guys. Have you ever read a post while you're reading, and if you feel like when you read that post you can relate to that person. Think of it, because people relate to stories. So when you post some kind of problem you had and then you share the solutions, the people will read that post will resonate with you. And that's where you can start building a relationship and turn it into your customer. Look at how I talk, guys. I mean, my grammar, my English is not that perfect, but I'm just doing it. I mean, you can't copy that. Not just you post something that's valuable, not just a one-liner code to get engagement and likes. Now, don't get me wrong. Engagement is important to kick up algorithm and show your post to more people's newsfeed. But that doesn't give value to people much. How many times a day you will see this kind cute motivational quote, and all you see in the comment is like, agreed, yes, nice, awesome, and all these stuffs. Now, try to compare the response of people when they respond on a long post that share value. It's more personal thing. Understand this, guys. Even if it's just in a social media, these are people. So treat them as people, not just numbers. Now, the second type of post, which is 20% of your post, is a content that sells. Is a content that sells to your audience on your product. And you do that by giving value upfront and then add a call to action, just like a suggestion. Just like I did when I suggest you this Expert Secrets book. If you do your job properly and you give them 80% value, you earn the right to sell them. Because there's no way you can help someone if you don't solve them. Now, for some of you, you might feel like selling is evil. I'm not a sales guy. Oh, I'm scared to sell. I don't want to sell them. I just want to help. Understand this, guys. If you really want to help them, you got to solve them. And here's what I mean by that. Every day you are selling, you are just getting paid in different ways. Look, guys, whatever you do, you don't have much difference to a merchant selling commodities in the market. You just sell your time, knowledge, and skills to your company in return of a so called salary. Right? One more example for you is like you sell your idea to your children that they need to go to school so that they will have a better life. You gotta sold them the idea of going to school because you love them. Does it make sense to you guys? Like, selling is everywhere. And here's one rule you need to always remember: those who don't pay attention because they got nothing to lose. If you know Dan Pena, the $1 trillion guy, he conduct free seminar and he give his training for free when he was starting out. And guess what? No one becomes successful getting on that training for free compared to the people who pay for the same training. Give me a yes at this point. Everything is making sense. And no, if you feel I gotta change the way I explain so you can get value more, like I accept constructive criticism so I can improve upon as we go. And I also can hear whether my audio is still okay, you still can hear me loud and clear. Just give me a comment, guys. I will drink one more water. Finish now. It's getting long. All right. So we're almost done here. Let's two more slides. Okay. Right. Okay. Now, here's how to come up with unlimited ideas. All right. The videos you watch. I know every one of you out there watch videos. Since you are somehow watching a video right now, these videos you watch on YouTube, those videos, if you get value, go ahead and teach these stuff to other people. This is one thing I like from a mentor. He don't tell us to give him credit about like, but we respect him so much and the lesson he teach us. That's why we give them credit. We give him credits. Just one thing he suggests us to do is a testimonial if applying these lessons help us. So it's the same thing. If you get results from what I teach you, I would appreciate as testimonial as well. Not a big deal, right? Other people, if they see that their post or their work had been modeled, they get hurt, offended, and feel like you steal something from them. We are not like that. Our goal is to multiply leaders so that we can help more people. All right? So next thing is the blog post you read. Note down the key points and some comments and create content around that. Now, the books you read. Let's say you wanted to make a book review. What are the main idea you like the most in the book? You don't want to teach everything inside of the book and just share the main idea on the book and how can it help them. The next thing is what can you apply in your business immediately from that book? All right? Excuse me, guys. Once you apply the lesson, share your personal experience and the results like you get from applying that lesson. Boom, it's content. If you watch most of my morning lives, you will realize that most of the lesson I share to you comes from a single book, Straight Line Leadership, I read every morning. Now, in content creation, nothing beats if you learn it by doing it. You're like consuming information and then put it into use and then apply it to your own business. And then you share your method and the results you get in your audience. So therefore, it's not a copy. It's your own interpretation and the results from combining all those ideas you learn from different books and courses you bought. It's kind of like customizing your own car and personally choosing the best parts you wanted to use. It's your own masterpiece, right? Now, the next thing is products you purchase. Hey guys, thanks for tuning in. So I guess you're still listening and you still can hear my voice loud and clear. All right. So the next thing is products you purchase and learn from. Most of what I teach here is the lesson I learned from a mentor. And here's one thing I want you to consider. If the people you are serving are not learning the way you teach, teach the way you learn. This is how I learn, guys. So next thing is the coaching calls. Now, if you had a coaching call to someone, you will definitely learn a minimum one or two things to someone, even if you feel like you know more than them. You're gonna get topics from that call, and people are gonna ask some questions, and those questions are from your target market. And there are people in your audience who will have the same question, well, right? Now, imagine if somebody asks you about the same topic, you can always refer it to that video. One of the member here has a plan to create a Facebook group and thinking about how to set it up. I just reference him in one of the units in this group where I discuss how to optimize your Facebook profile to business profile. That's powerful, right? Live streams you watch, like this. The comments you see on your competitors' content. Share your insights about it. The FB group research. People ask a lot of questions in different groups, comments on YouTube. Note down those questions people are asking and create a content around that. The best example for this is Dan Locke. If you know him, he literally create a content answering questions from his subscriber. And lastly, is to survey your audience. Guys, the topics I created in the units come from surveying you. I know there will be a time that you will need those lessons. That's why I put it there. Now, here's the most interesting part. I want you to understand that these lives I'm sharing to you guys will be part of my course in the future. This is my digital asset, and I'm literally giving you the lessons for free as part of this group. This is the exact same process I'm showing to you guys how you create your own products in the future. You don't create it based on what you want. You create it on based on what your audience wants and you do it live. Once you validate it and it's worth it, you can go and edit it and improve it later based on the customer's feedback. You now clean up your voice, remove those like, hey guys, I'm going to drink some water. Remove all those things. Make it clean. Give me a yes to make this, if this up to this point this makes sense to you guys. This is how you create your products, your information products. We're almost done here, guys. So my voice is also like my water is finished now. So let's go to the next slide. All right. Okay. Now I want you to realize this is some kind of like a helpful suggestion for you guys. So realize that in the early days, your content that you're doing is not for your audience. It's for yourself. It's for you to master your message, to get comfortable in sharing it. Now, this is what most people do. They will post their content or do Facebook Live saying something like, oh, nobody's listening, nobody's liking it, I feel stupid, it doesn't sound good. And the main reason you shouldn't start now is that reason. That's exact reason. When you don't have a bigger audience yet. Think of it, guys. You don't prepare after, you prepare before the big event. It doesn't make sense that you wait for your audience to reach 10,000 subscribers or people before you even start. You gotta master it now. Now is the time. You don't want to wait to have a huge audience before you start and then you figure out how to write your email, how to write your content, how to do Facebook Lives. It doesn't work that way. How do you think you can have an audience if you're not doing anything? Think of it, right? Do you think if I don't practice Facebook Lives last year, I can do talk the way I talk right now? I mean, I laugh at myself watching my first few Facebook Lives. It's in this group. You can go and check it out. I'm not ashamed of it. It's the same thing I apply in every platform you want to do, not just in Facebook. If you're in YouTube, podcast, or whatever platform you plan to focus on, it's the same thing. I mean, I remember my first live is like, hey, it's like welcoming you. I mean, hey guys, I want to welcome you from this group. Something. It's very monotone. Like, I mean, I wanted to learn you how to earn money because I don't even make money yet. That's kind of like I mean, I'm so excited for you guys. I mean, I'm so pumped. The way you talk is like that. If you don't practice, I don't get this kind of energy in one day. I mean, I practice it every day. Now, the next thing is you develop confidence and certainty by doing it. Once you learn to become comfortable being uncomfortable, guys, nobody can stop you. You develop that certainty in your message by publishing. And remember what I say, experts publish, and they publish a lot. Now, the next thing is transfer positive vibrations is become and you become excited mastering this process because you can have success. You can't have success like if all you do is to think about I don't have results yet. Nobody will listen to me. Then share your vision. Where you want to go? What do you want to be? Who will you want to become? What do you want people to perceive you? This is what happened to most people. When people graduated from college, they stop learning. They feel like learning ends in school. What they don't realize is they are just starting out to the so-called university of life. And this is the exact opposite of learning. Right? Think of it, guys. This is the exact opposite of learning that we've been taught in schools. Because in school, you're going to learn before they put you on a test. But in life, in real life, this life, you will be put on tests before you learn. Think of it, guys. Don't be afraid to fail because you will learn more from failure than the things you do correctly. Now, the next thing is sorry for that, guys. My throat is now getting dried up. Don't be a perfectionist. You must be willing to take imperfect actions. I remember this quote from Garrett J. White. He's a super affiliate, multimillionaire. And it goes something like this. The first time you do something, you will suck. And it's okay. Do it again and then you become better and better. Just keep doing. Look at the Facebook lives of the people who took the Face Your Fear challenge in this group and compare their first ever Facebook lives to their last day of Facebook lives in this group. You will see a different person. Give yourself a permission to play big and make mistakes. Be okay with that. If you're not doing mistakes, it means you're not doing things outside of your comfort zone. You'll never grow to the land of comfort. In the land of comfort, I mean. Now, here's the interesting part. Never compare yourself to anyone. Never ever do that. All right, guys, just checking here. You still live? Just hashtag live. If you're watching this replay, just hashtag replay so I can see whether you still keep here, right? It's just getting longer now, but I'm almost done. All right. Okay. Don't ever compare that, right? Never compare yourself to anyone. Go war with yourself and compete only to yourself. Because if you do that, you literally validate your worth from other people. Don't do that, guys. Your goal should be beating your previous high score every single day. And lastly, is always remember to focus on your audience, not on yourself. Focus your content on the solution to the problems your audience might have. Think of it, guys. They follow you because they're probably looking for some help or solution to their problem, right? So you don't want to add to their problem. You want to be the solution to their problem. That's how you get paid. Game over, right? Solve a problem. That's how you get paid. Entrepreneurs are problem solvers. They solve their problem. They solve what they do. They find solution to one problem and they solve the solution. So that's it, guys. That's all from me today. And thank you for tuning in. It takes an hour, guys. So if you have any questions, just feel free to reach me out. And I want you to stay safe, everyone. If you're still live, just watch them, just hashtag live, guys. I mean, I can still see you here, like I can see. So basically, that's all for me today. Have a wonderful, I mean, thank you for tuning in. Thank you for listening to me. If I hope you get value from this. I will just edit the thing and drop the book that I shared to you. All right, guys, thank you and have a great day. Can I see who's still live here? All right, let me check. Okay, if people don't share, thanks Segun, thanks D for hopping on. Thanks for hi D live. You're still listening. Thank you. Time. Stay safe too. Stay safe. Yes. Stay safe. And I'm here in Singapore, so basically on Tuesday we're going to have a lockdown too, and I'm going to use that time to literally immerse more of myself. So I hope you are safe and have a wonderful day, wonderful night, and wherever you're part of the world, stay safe. Thank you guys, and good night and goodbye. All right. Okay, so I gotta close now.